previous Porsche Cayman, it was all about the corners. The car had such a beautifully balanced mid-engine chassis and had such lovely crisp steering to go with it that the brilliance of its flat-six engine very nearly went unnoticed. But with this all-new 718 Cayman, the engine is very much the star attraction, though not necessarily for all the right reasons, because the engine in the new Cayman S is a 2.5 litre 4-cylinder turbo, not a screaming atmospheric flat six. Which begs one simple but also rather complicated question. Has the Cayman gained a turbo but lost its mojo? Or is it in fact better than ever thanks to its increases in power, torque and therefore performance?
It's so pretty, the new Cayman, isn't it? I mean, it's so pretty that you can kind of forgive it almost anything. But you don't have to make any excuses up for this car other than one thing, which we'll come to in a bit. Because the new Cayman is just a hugely improved car, even compared with the old Cayman, which was some sports car, in just about every direction. I mean, they have tickled it everywhere. They've tickled the steering, they've tickled the springs and dampers, they've tickled the chassis, they've tickled the brakes, they've definitely tickled the styling, because it's just meant to look lower and sharper and wider, front and rear, and it really does. In the flesh, this thing just looks amazing.
In standard form, the Cayman S costs £48,834 and boasts a fulsome 345 bhp and 420 Newton meters of torque. But the car you see here has carbon ceramic brakes, what Porsche refers to as a sports chassis option, which lowers the ride height by 20mm, and numerous other options that take its price to an eye-popping 68 grand. And it comes as standard with a brilliant 6-speed manual, with a 7-speed PDK also available for yet more money via the exhaustive options list.
But there is this one kind of nagging caveat with the new Caymans. This one's the S version, as we know, and it concerns the engine. It's a 4-cylinder turbo now, not a flat six atmospheric. And what that brings you is a stack more power, well, no, a little bit more power, but a stack more torque, a load more acceleration, 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds with the 6-speed manual gearbox, 0 to 60 in 4 seconds dead with PDK and the sports chrono option. So in terms of performance, it's taken this really quite a big leap forwards, and that's great. And on paper, you look at all the numbers, because it's more economical and it's cleaner and it's faster, 177 miles an hour, and you think that is the perfect sports car for £48,000. And in so many ways it is. But when you downshift in this car and think, right, let's give it the berries and see A, how it goes, and B, what it sounds and feels like, it's just, well, listen. It's kind of quite a nice noise, but it's not a lovely noise. And at worst, it's a little bit anodyne, because it's, there are only 4 cylinders pumping away there, and I want more sound, more kind of aural delight than that from a Cayman, which, with a flat six engine, was one of the nicest sounding sports cars money could buy. Anyway, let's break it down a bit and talk more about the performance. The torque, 420 Newton meters at almost no revs at all until it stacks the revs. So it's there, and it's there all the time, whenever you want it. Having said that, there is a touch of lag. I'll put it in 5th gear, put my foot down. There's like about a 3/4 second delay, and then it goes. Same in 6th gear, foot down, not going, now it is. So you've always got that impression that there is definitely, without question, not an atmospheric engine back there. You always know that it's turbocharged. The flip side to that is that in the mid-range, so say between 3,000 and 6,000, in any gear, but particularly the high gears, it pulls like a train. It's seriously quick, the Cayman S. Porsche claim it'll do 0 to 100 miles an hour in under 10 seconds. Now that is fast with a capital F. And I don't have a problem with anything else that it does, because everything else that it does is brilliant. The handling is delightful. Even the ride quality is very, very good. And the steering is delicious. The brakes are delicious. This redesigned cabin, it's a lovely place to be. But I've just got this problem with the motor. The way the motor sounds. The slight lack of response that the motor has when you put your foot down. And it's such a crying shame, because in every other area, the new Cayman 718, especially this S1, is just, it's an awesome sports car. But the bottom line is, I think that if it was my money, I'm not sure I'd buy one of these new Caymans. I want the old GTS with the flat six in it, which isn't just as quick as this, but when you nail it in that car, the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, and that never quite happens in this new one. But then in every single other way, it is just, it's an impressive car rather than one that blows your mind. That's the difference, and that's why I think I prefer the old one.
Click on the video windows to watch a first drive of the 718 Boxster, or a track battle between the Cayman GT4 and the 911 GT3 RS. Click on the play icon to watch our latest video, or on our logo to subscribe.